So you've got some more recycled content from Samuel and Kings for me today? Yes, sir, I do. And today we're going to start by finishing up that bit about the Ark of the Covenant. Oh yeah, what did happen after God so patiently and lovingly murdered Uzzah for trying to protect it? Well, that holy homicide really spooked David, and frankly, he's angry with God about it. Understandable. So David has the Ark stored at the home of some poor bastard named Obed-Edom, because he's not sure what the hell is going to happen if he brings that thing into Jerusalem. Hot stuff for sure. So how did this guy, Obed-Edom, get this dubious honor? Oh, that is completely unaddressed. You are such a great writer. I am a great writer. So does God also murder Obed-Edom for some trivial misstep while he's in possession of the Ark? Surprisingly enough, he does not. Well, I'll be damned. Turns out Obed-Edom is actually blessed during the 3 months the Ark is at his home. Huh, God is so good. Always. Well, let's be honest here, not always. La 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 la. So what does David do next? Well, since Obed-Edom was able to hang on to the Ark for 3 whole months without God murdering anyone in his household, David decides it is finally time to bring the Ark into Jerusalem. Oh boy. And they throw a huge party to mark the occasion. Oh yes, I remember this from 2 Samuel. Yeah. Does David's wife Michal despise him for dancing like a crazy man again? She does. And she's cursed to be childless after mouthing off to David in this one too? No, this time we don't have her uttering so much as a single word. Oh, good. Yep, she just keeps her full mouth shut. I'm glad she learned her lesson. Your consistency and storytelling is top-notch. Thank you, sir. Now, with the Ark housed in a tent in Jerusalem, David goes off on another glurge-filled rant about how awesome God is. Is it completely over the top and dripping with sycophancy? Oh yes, once again it's absolutely saturated with obsequious groveling. Sick. God is so tickled pink that he decides he is also going to have a son through David. Wait, he's what? God is going to bless David's son Solomon, and Solomon is going to be God's son, and God will be his father. Solomon is going to be God's son. Yes, that's what I wrote. God having a son. What about it? Why does that sound so familiar? What are you on about? God having a son sounds like such a nifty plot twist. Are you sure you haven't used it yet? Not up to this point? Well, I kind of mentioned it as a possibility in 2 Samuel, but I didn't give any names. That's not the sort of thing you should do twice, you know what I mean? Oh, I get you. Reusing it would just completely undermine the impact. I totally agree. Fantastic. God has a son now. Solomon. Wow. Anyway, God lets David know that he'll never take his love away from Solomon. That's interesting. Why? When Solomon turned away from God and towards his wife's detestable foreign gods in 1 Kings, God sure as hell did take his love away. Oh, he did, didn't he? Big time. Whoops. Whoopsie. Well, we can spin it as though God's anger and active hostility towards Solomon aren't actually him taking his love away. Clever. Is this one of those hermeneutics things? Maybe. Let's just not think about this at all, okay? Sounds like a plan to me. Great. Next, we repeat some more stuff from the 7th, 8th, 10th, and 11th chapters of 2 Samuel and the 17th through 20th chapters of 1 Chronicles. What a divine waste of time. You said the 7th, 8th, 10th and 11th chapters of 2 Samuel? I did. Is there some reason you didn't do the 9th chapter while you were at it? Do you really expect me to have an answer for that? Because I absolutely do not. Well, okay then. But then we do revisit the whole David and the census story you were so excited about last time. I wasn't excited about that. Yes, you were. No, So anyway, yes, we're repeating that one too, but with one interesting little change. What's that? This time we switch out God's name and replace it with Satan's. Wait, what? We repeat the exact same start to the story, but this time it's Satan egging David on to do the census instead of God. You're right, that is interesting. I thought you'd like that. God and Satan being interchangeable characters in the same story is tight. Oh, I didn't think of it as... I gotta say, having Satan put the census in motion makes it a little more understandable as to why God is so angry about it. But it still kind of raises a few more questions, too. Oh, please don't think about this too much. Like, are you finally going to explain why a census of all things pisses off God so much this time around? Nope. You know, there is a relevant bit in the 30th chapter of Exodus that might cast some light on this. Exodus, schmexodus, look, I'm just trying to tell a story here. Maybe you could redact the original story in 2 Samuel and have both it and this retelling reveal God saving David from making the bad choice of doing this problematic census in the first place. Oh, God, that sounds like so much work. Or you could leave it the same stupid, unexplained mess it was the first time. That's what I want to do. Great writing. Keep it up. Oh, I will. Do you have God forcing David to pick from one of those 3 terrible punishments again? Yes, sir, I do. And like last time, does a plague get brought down on the blameless, clueless people? You got it. 70,000 people die horrible, agonizing deaths. God is so good. Always. I assume God has David build an altar again after his latest mass murder. Yep, we're just copying and pasting for most of this now. The altar's built on the threshing floor from Arona, was it? Yes, dadgum, you have a memory. Yeah, that's what I have. Nice. So yeah, David buys the site for 600 shekels of gold, just like before. What? It was 50 shekels of silver back in 2 Samuel. It was? Uh-huh. I remember the amount because that's what my mom's house sold for a couple years ago. You don't say. Whoops. Whoopsie. Well, no one's gonna notice that. What? 600 shekels of gold has always been orders of magnitude more valuable than a mere 50 shekels of silver, even in these ancient barbaric times. I hate it when you do that. So isn't it going to be impossible to reconcile these two vastly different sums? Actually, it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yep, we're just going to hope that apologists later on make some pretty big assumptions about what's actually being bought in these two parallel yet oddly differing accounts. This crap is supposed to look like the inspired word of God. It does because of my awesome writing, remember? Why include such a clunky mismatch in the first place? It looks so sloppy and amateurish. You're hurting my feelings. You know it would be absolutely trivial to just edit the discrepancy out right now. But I have to get out my writing quill. You're holding it in your hand at this very moment. Like I said, it'd be so much trouble. I'll do it later. But all you'd have to do... I'll do it later. Don't forget. I won't. So anyway, the rest of this one is just a crap ton of names of nobody priests, singers, gatekeepers, treasurers, admin, army commanders, and the like. There's a bunch more repetition about Solomon and the new temple being built. Anything new? No? Wow. And finally, David dies, and that's it for 1 Chronicles. Wait, what about all that stuff with David's son Adonijah trying to usurp the throne before Solomon can take the reins? What? It was a whole thing back when you did this the first time? Oh, right. We're just skipping it. You know what? Screw it. That works for me. Fantastic. Christ, these Chronicles. And we got a brand new batch coming next time.
And there was much rejoicing